Always welcome back. So today is August 26th. My bias is to the downside. As you can see, I'm short. The reason is that most of the session we have transacted contracts here, or most of the session we have spent time in this zone. As you can see, this is the S&P, and I'm just looking for those retraces down to the downside. Ideally, I would trade towards the point of control, which would be 375 profit, but if I see a move down and I see that there is that much selling and that bids are stacking, then I'm gonna just get out and take the profits that I can. You know, I will take what I can from the markets. So yeah, we're gonna of course pay attention to the power meters, the tape, the two depth on markets that I have. I might also go short on the Nasdaq as well, but that does depend on how fast we reject this zone on S&P. I'll just look for that momentum that will push prices down. As you can see, it is picking up speed, and we can see some sellers coming in, which is good. So that justifies me holding the trade. But you can see bids are stacking, being protective, unless they can't hold this trade or unless they can't hold this zone. You can see they have a clear float to the upside. It's a bit of a trend that they have, but I have noticed that the move is pretty weak. You can't really notice any big buyers here. You can see on the delta or on the delta. You can see that there isn't that much buying compared to selling, even though we are at the highs. So that's me justifying myself to, you know, just place the short. Just pay attention to what the market tells me, you know, and then we're gonna act accordingly. If we lose, we lose, you know. Move on next trade. So yeah, I'm not gonna put my stop losses because I do wanna give this trade a bit of room to breathe, you know, just do its thing. And then yeah, we can see there is a breakup or there is a breakout to the upside. And it's pretty strong. We can see a lot of buying coming in. But yeah, we're just gonna wait and see. We can see that the amount of offers and the bids is pretty much the same, which is good because they're happy to sell as price moves up. An even better thing would be if we saw, you know, them not being able to break up, seeing more selling than buying, bids being pulled, you know, those kinds of things. So yeah, let's just be patient and see what happens. What I can also do is go short on the Nasdaq, even though I'm in a loss on S&P. If I can see S&P losing steam, then I'm just gonna go short on the Nasdaq from a higher point. That way, when you do come back to my entry point on the S&P, I'm gonna already be in profits on the Nasdaq, and then I'm just gonna take profits on the Nasdaq. If S&P shows me signs of going down even more, I'm gonna of course hold the trade. So yeah, we can see how they break the highs and then they come back. And you can see this push to the upside that they had right now. It wasn't even that strong, so I'm just holding this trade. I'm just being patient. That's a decent amount of buying. Let's see if they can actually push up. If not, it's gonna flush down again. I'm just gonna mark this 206 on the sell side. You can see here 206. I'll also mark this buy as well. It does give me some information as well, knowing that 272 buys were trapped here and they weren't able to move up. So let's see. We just have to be patient. This zone, as I said, is very slow. You can see how long it took them to even go up. So it's gonna probably take them the same amount of time to go down, if they do. And we can see they're picking up steam. There's the momentum that I was talking about, pulling from the bids. That's good. I just need to see more selling coming in. I need to see a lot more selling. Also here on the tape, we can see that there is a bit more selling than buying. You can see a bit more red. So that's another thing. These are only the big orders that come in. I'm just gonna reset the power meters as well. We need to see more red than blue, which means of course more selling. This 277 on the offer side kinda is not really good for me because I usually use those orders to use them as magnets to trade towards them, because we know people make money when they transact. So, or people who move the markets transact on every order that's being transacted, you know. So they want to move to places where they know people are stacked, which are these highs. But if we can see a bit more people stacked to the downside, then we'll be good to go. We're just gonna hold the trade. As we can see, that's a very sharp drop to the downside from the highs, which is very good. And as I said, we just need to see offers being stacked. We need to see them hold this zone and not push up. That's a nice amount of selling. You can see they are selling from the same place as before. So there was 124 sells here, and now 210 came in. So that's a collective of around 334. So I'm just gonna mark that off. So we can see there is a lot of selling here, and you can see that the result is a move down. That's very good. That's exactly what you want to see. That's a very nice push down. I do believe they will go down even further, but that is a lot of buying right here. 555. So you can see how they dropped down, but how quickly they moved up as well. So that's a big zone of interest, you can say. That's a big sign of support. So you gotta be careful as well. You can see 363, 473. So there has been a lot of contracts transacted here. Buys and sells. You know, we gotta look at both sides. And now we can see that there is a bit more offers than the bids, which is good. The bids are fading away. They're being, you can say, scared. They don't want to maybe buy. They don't want to protect the price from going down. Unless, of course, they do, which we're paying attention to. You can see how they move up. There's no buying here. That's very good. You can see there is no buying. There is also no selling as well, but let's see what happens. Still nothing that really caught my attention. There is still that big offer right here, so still waiting for reasons to get out or to hold the trade. I'm just seeing a lack of selling, which I'm not liking. But you can see 137 on the buy side, but they don't really move up. Let's just wait and see. Yeah, I mean, pretty much very slow time of day. Tomorrow is Nvidia earnings, so this is the reason for the bad price movement. You know, I shouldn't really be even trading these kind of days, but I just wanted to see if I can exploit something in the market. You know, I saw something and then I said to myself, okay, you know, let me exploit it. I'm not even risking that much, so yeah, I'm happy with the loss. If I do take it, if not, I'm gonna, you know, put my TP, take the profits, and that's it. Just the usual things. Yeah, I mean, the reason for the choppy markets prior to earnings from big companies is just because, you know, they are uncertain if it's going to be good earnings, bad earnings, and Nvidia is the biggest tech company, you know, it's a very big tech giant, and it really can move the markets. You can see it even moves the markets before the earnings come out, you know, just the uncertainty, it's so big. They don't even know what to do with price. That's just why, you know, That's why they float the price, you know, to the upside or to the downside, depends. You can see how price literally just moves freely. It's like there isn't that momentum that you want, that you see on other days. But yeah. And I mean, the more time they spend in this zone without going down, the more conviction I have that it's not actually going to go down. And of course, if I see buying like right now 200 and they're holding the zone and they are actually moving up, then I'm just going to get it from the trade and take an even smaller loss, you know. I'm just in tune with the market. I know what it does, when it does it, what it looks like when it does it, you know. That's my experience. And if I can take a smaller loss, I'm just going to take it, you know. Come into this zone again from which they sold off, from which that fast move down happens. Let's see if we are going to see that same guy selling. There's a bit more selling here, which I like. Let's see if they can actually push down. Okay, I just need to see a quick 5-6 tick drop from this point. That's good. 3, 4, nice. That's exactly the move that I wanted to see. The offers are being stacked, that's good. You can see offers stacking the buys. That's good. 141 pulling from the bids. Can I see the flush down? Come on. Yeah, again you can see the lack of selling coming in. Then you see that fast push up again. So yeah, very, very slow time of day. Or very slow session, you know. But you can still learn something from this as well, you know. You can learn that not every day you should trade. Sometimes you don't have to trade, you know. I mean, I know these things, but I just wanted to see if I can, you know, just take something from the market. But yeah, as I said, you can learn from these days, you know. If you're, for example, trading before the FOMC and you can see, and you know that you trade badly before the FOMC, you just don't trade those days, you know, you just stay off. The most important thing in trading is just to have that execution, to have that edge. And if you know where your edge works, you will be profitable, trust me. And if you don't know what your edge is, if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know when your setups work, then you're just gonna be, you know, another boat in the ocean. You wouldn't know what to do. You'd just be lost. That's unfortunately where a lot of traders are right now. So yeah, I hope you got something out of that. 194, seeing some buyers again. You can see offers being matched. That's good. Let's see. The big offer is still there. That's probably the reason why we're not really going down. And also the lack of selling happening. So yeah. But I have seen them, you know, just drop out of nowhere. You know, that has happened before. So I'm going to hold on to that idea. You can see lack of buying. That's good. You can see the candles. Yeah. Very tight range. Very hard to trade. goes down, picks up buyers, goes up, picks up sellers, comes down. So yeah. Still expecting that drop down. But yeah. On a 16, both offers are still stacking. The faster they move away from the zone, the more conviction I'm gonna have that, yeah, they will go back to this huge volume profile node that they created throughout this whole session. Yeah. Not really seeing any big buyers or sellers. There are still more offers than the bids. There's the move up. If they break this point, yeah, I'm probably gonna get out. Take the quick loss. Pulling from the bids, okay, no one wants to buy. So you can see how easily they drop down, that's good. The 61 got trapped. We're back at the same place where we were before, so nothing has really changed. I mean, this is the zone where they like to sell. You can see more big selling orders coming in this zone than buying orders, which is good. But we just need to see them covering ground and actually moving down. You can see lack of buying, lack of selling. You can't really notice that dominant side. No one is really dominating, which is good, because if you can see buyers are not dominating at the highs as well as the sellers, the market will move to a place where they know people will transact, which are these huge volume nodes. You know, if we were down here, you would say, if we don't see any sellers, of course we're going to go up because no one is happy to sell. Same goes for the highs. If you can see no one is buying, or you see people buying but they can't really cover any ground, as we can see right now, then you're gonna, assume and say to yourself, okay, if no one's buying, no one's interested in buying, no one is interested in high prices, they're gonna move down. So yeah, that's the dialogue that I always have with myself. You just always have to talk with yourself about what you're seeing, and if that's a good thing, if that's a bad thing, how you should act, what's your next plan, etc. Okay, we might see a drop away from this point where they have spent a lot of time. Let's see. Nice amount of offers. Not really seeing any buying. That's good. So we are stuck in this zone. Then you see it move down. That's good. I just need to see a sharp drop down. This is not enough. Twitter being protective again. They're selling. You can see a large amount of contracts sold at the same place where this 334 sell came in. So you can see this same guy is selling in this zone, but he's not able to break price down, which is very concerning for me. If he can't break this zone, then I'm just gonna get out, Yeah, you see then I move up. And if they move up from this point very easily, like 6-7 ticks to this point, then I'm just gonna get out. Take the loss and focus on the next trade. Because I can't see this guy. I cannot see him actually winning this battle, He's just selling, but he's not getting any ground. He's not winning, he's not being rewarded. Unless he does. And I need to see him being able to actually push price down in the next 5 minutes. If not, I'm just gonna get out. Yeah, that's a nice amount of buying, 253. I'm just gonna mark it off as well. gonna be a very good thing if they don't actually move up from these points. It's gonna mean that this guy will get trapped. And usually when they trap such a big guy, which has such a large amount of contracts, they like to move down with speed. So let's see. Again, you can see the same amount of buying in the same place as before. You can see offers are being matched, but then you do see a move up. So let's see. Very interesting zone. I don't really care if I win or lose, because it was a nice lesson for me, you know. And you guys, I really do think you guys learned something from this as well, you know. You learned how I behave. Yeah, there's the move. I was gonna put it up here. Just let the market do its thing, you know. Just an $87 loss. You know, I'm happy with that. I really am happy with that loss. And so yeah, as I said, it's a really good video for you to figure out what my, you know, what my dialogue is when I'm in these uncertain events where I don't really know where price is gonna go next, which is what trading is, you know. But now I really don't really have a great picture of what is gonna happen next. I don't really have a bias. You can see how horrible this price action has been, you know. Very rarely do you see this price of action like today. So yeah. I really want to move my stop loss a bit higher just to give them a bit more room to breathe. But then I'm not gonna be happy with that loss, so I'm just not gonna move that. Move my stop loss. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. If this big offer can hold, then my stop loss is not gonna get hit. If he can't hold it, it's gonna go up. I'm just gonna accept that fact and move on. I'm just looking at my other screen and I'm seeing something very interesting. The crypto market is down. Bitcoin, Ethereum, they are all falling, and they are usually tied to the stock market. It's very interesting that stock market is going up, but Bitcoin is going down. That's one discorrelation that I'm seeing, even though they are correlated most of the times. So maybe we can see the drop on the Nasdaq. There's the drop, that's good. You can see a lot of buyers were triggered, and you can see they're holding out pretty well, which is not a good thing. Come on, just give me that. I just want to see 500 sell contracts here, and then just a quick flush down. That's what I want to see. 210, okay, we're getting some sells, good. I just need to see 300 more. Come on. Come on, just break through this range. Come on. Notice again, lack of buyers. Nasdaq is at its point of control. S&P is all the way up here. We see another drop down, that fast 4-tick move down that happened from the same place as before, which is very interesting. So I can now safely move my stop loss a bit lower, because if they do break that point, they're just gonna flush up. I'm just gonna lose like $30 more for no reason. So let's see. 121, good. Okay, we are picking up steam. That's good. Nice. Come on, just give me that flush down. Come on. Again, you see 221, but they get picked up. You don't see that follow through to the downside. Come on, Nasdaq, fall down. You can see how Nasdaq moves a lot more to the downside than the S&P. There's the drop. Good. Come on, Nasdaq. I can see there has been a change of tone in the way price moves. You can see a bit more, or a lot more contracts being transacted. You can see a lot more selling here than buying. That's good. Come on, flush down. Come on. Good. Cap speed. Not really seeing any buyers. That's good. The bids are coming in, which is expected. I mean, we have spent a lot of time in this zone. Everyone is just trying to protect their positions. They're like, buy, 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 buy. You know, you can just imagine how many people just built their longs in this zone. And imagine just them seeing price moving down. They're just gonna be so scared. Let's see if they can hold. Did you see the fast tick down? How fast they tick down, and how they can't really move up now. That's a good clue. So we are getting those little clues about this move. Come on, Nasdaq. I just need to see Nasdaq flush down. S&P is gonna follow. Come on. Okay, good. There's the move. 1, 2, 3 or 1, 3, 2. That's part of selling. You see a bit more buying now. If they can't hold, it's gonna drop down very fast. Just watch. And if they do, it's just gonna float up once again, which is of course not a good thing. Come on, sellers, pick up steam. I'm just gonna put my TP right here, just in case we see that fast sweep down. Which can happen. As I said, I've seen that before. They just moved so fast. Even though they're moving slow here, they can just pick up speed out of nowhere. So let's see. This is the zone where they moved up from previously, where we saw this huge amount of buying, as we can see. Let's see if they can test the zone again. You can see right here on the Nasdaq, there is more selling than buying, which is a good thing. And we can see they are moving down. So that just tells me, that gives me the clue to hold the trade even more. Nasdaq's falling, S&P should follow. Come on, S&P. Come on. I just need to see a big red candle right here. Just closing strongly, moving down with speed. Come on. There it is. Again, the same thing happens. And they held. Let's see. Come on. Sellers coming in. That's a huge bid. That's a huge bid. Let's see if they can hold. You can see how the memory in the market is being triggered over and over again. The same thing happened before. at this place they move down that very quickly, that literally just that flash down, that fast drop, and then they move up from the same place as before. If they break this point, they're just gonna flash down so quickly, this 6-4-6-0. If they can break that point, it's just gonna flash down. Come on. Let me see the sellers coming in. I'm just very tempted to just take the profits that I have, because these BS moves can happen again. God damn it. Okay, we're seeing some sellers. If they move up from this point, I'm out. I'm just gonna place my stop loss at the break even. I'm just not even looking to expose myself to the charts anymore. It really has been a bad day to trade. If they can drop, happy days. If not, yeah, I'm just gonna get out. And they really had to move this badly, but I'm in a trade. Typical Nasdaq, typical S&P. It's like they have cameras on me, you know? When I place a trade, they're like, okay, this guy placed the shorts. Let's just mess around with this guy. But of course, I'm not gonna get mad, you know? I have emotional control over so many lost trades, you know? Right now, I'm basically like a robot, you know? It just does sound kind of scary, you know, to not have an emotion, to be like a robot, but trading is about that. Like, that's what you need to hear, you know? You gotta be like a robot, you know? You win a trade, next trade. You lose a trade, next trade. Never, you know, never trade based on how much you made or how much you lost. You know, treat every trade as a new trade. There's the breakdown again. Good. But to be honest, I'm just gonna expect the same thing. I'm just gonna expect them to move up. Unless they don't, but yeah. More than likely they're just gonna move up. And I can just take the profits here, just take the 125 profit, but I just want to see if I'm right, you know? I don't really even care about the profits anymore, just want to see if I'm right with this trade. I just want to see how I gotten better at trading, you know? Or not at trading, but at reading the markets, even though I am, I just want to see, you know what I mean. I just want to see if I'm right. Because that's what trading is about, you know? Two 6-3 on the sell side. Will they be able to move down? Pulling from the bids on the Nasdaq. As I said, if Nasdaq moves down, S&P will follow. We can see now there's more selling on S&P and Nasdaq, which is good. So I'm just still gonna hold this trade, even though I can take the profits. Now we can see bids being protective on the Nasdaq. Buyers coming in. There's the move up. Okay. I can't really see any selling on the S&P, but also no buying as well. 107, then you see the drop. To be honest, I think this is the worst range that I have ever traded. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been stuck in such a tight range for so long. It's been like what, 30 minutes I think. So yeah, I know you guys are bored, but I mean this is trading sometimes. You know, sometimes you get no moment. You know, it happens. It is what it is. You just gotta be patient. Buyers coming in, you see a move up, 100 gets picked up. There's the move. You can see how fast they can move up. I wouldn't be surprised if they just break the high end. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna get out. I can see there is no orders coming in now. It's probably gonna remain like this until the market close. I mean, I don't think we'll be stuck in this range, but I can't see any selling coming in. I'm just gonna get out, you know, no reason to stay in the trade. So yeah, take the $50 profit and just, you know, be happy with it. At least we'll learn some things. So yeah, unless we move down, which I don't believe we will. Yeah, I just want to get out. I'm not happy with holding my trade for any longer. Moving down. I can't take this $100 profit, but as I said, it's not about the money. It's just about reading the market, even though I can't stay in this trade. As I said, if I don't see something going in my favor, I'm just gonna get out. We're just seeing things being repeated. Sells come in, they trap, go up. Buys come in, they trap, go down. just a lack of buying and selling, just a lack of movement. As I said, I don't like that. So yeah. I mean, we could still hold a trade. I don't want you guys to think I'm bored. What I'm thinking is that actually you guys are bored, you know? I mean, it's too long of a video. It's like, what, 40 minutes right now? 43. It's a long video. I mean, I know some of you guys will watch the video till the end. Yeah, there's the move. And that's exactly the move where I would have exited on my own as well. So yeah, that's a fast move up. Takes my TP. So yeah. Anyways, as I said, thank you guys whoever watched till the end. This was, I think, the longest video that I have ever posted. I know you guys learned some things, how I behave, what's my thought process, you know, what I'm looking for. You know, you can really get a lot out from this video, so yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna go rest. I'm a bit tired. Haven't even had anything to drink and eat today, so yeah, I'm just gonna go eat. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.